The entire village believed they were cursed by eternal barrenness, until one small act defied every law of nature. The cracked earth stretched for miles under a blazing sun, leaving the desperate inhabitants without any hope for a better future. Destructive dust storms frequently swept through the desolate landscape, stripping away the remaining topsoil and making farming an almost impossible task. Every single day was a brutal struggle for survival, as the tired villagers walked miles just to fetch a little water. Young children played in the dry dirt, their faces covered in thick dust, unaware of lush green forests that existed elsewhere. Amidst this very harsh reality lived a young teenager named Aryan, who possessed a vivid imagination and a deeply hopeful heart. While many others accepted their grim fate, Aryan spent his quiet evenings dreaming of tall trees, cool shades, and singing birds. He constantly visualized a vibrant ecosystem where the dry winds would be replaced by gentle breezes rustling through thick green canopies. Aryan finally shared his grand vision with the skeptical village elders, hoping to spark a collective movement to plant many trees. However, his passionate words were met with harsh laughter and cruel mockery from the exhausted and deeply cynical older village people. They loudly called him a foolish dreamer, reminding him that absolutely nothing could ever grow in this dead and forsaken wasteland. The constant, heavy ridicule weighed terribly on his young shoulders, making him question if his beautiful dream was just an illusion. He sat completely alone on a dusty hill, feeling utterly defeated and ready to abandon his seemingly impossible quest for greenery. It was exactly during this moment of deep despair that his wise mother approached him, carrying a small, fragile neem seed. She quietly sat beside him on the dry earth, placing her warm hand on his trembling shoulder to offer much-needed comfort. With a very gentle smile, she softly whispered that every single great forest in the world always begins with one seed. She calmly told him that monumental changes never happen overnight, but they require immense patience and a truly unwavering personal belief. Those profoundly wise words resonated deeply within Aryan, instantly reigniting the passionate fire of hope that had almost completely died out. He eagerly took the tiny neem seed from her hand, feeling a sudden surge of determination coursing through his entire body. Early the very next morning, long before the sun even rose, Aryan marched out to the most barren patch of land. With his bare hands and a small wooden tool, he carefully dug a deep hole in the tough, unyielding, dry soil. He gently placed the neem seed into the dark earth, covering it up and whispering a quiet promise to protect it. From that exact day forward, Aryan began a grueling daily routine, carrying heavy buckets of water from the distant village well. He bravely walked under the scorching sun, his tired feet blistering, just to give his hidden seed the chance at life. Weeks quickly turned into months, and despite his relentless daily efforts, the dry ground remained completely bare and seemingly lifeless underneath. The cruel villagers continued their relentless teasing, pointing at the empty patch of dirt and laughing at his completely wasted efforts. Even his closest friends told him to simply give up, saying that he was fighting a losing battle against brutal nature. But Aryan clearly remembered his mother's wise words, refusing to let the heavy doubt of others extinguish his own burning belief. He faithfully kept watering the spot every single morning, trusting that unseen magic was slowly happening deep beneath the cracked surface. Then, one truly miraculous morning, a tiny green sprout finally broke through the hard crust of the unforgiving and dry earth. Aryan instantly fell to his knees in pure joy, carefully shielding the fragile green leaves from the harsh and biting wind. The incredible sight of that single living plant provided him with enough motivation to immediately start planting dozens of new seeds. Several curious children from the village began to gather around, completely fascinated by the tiny oasis of green emerging in dust. Soon, they happily started bringing their own small cups of water, eager to help Aryan nurture the growing collection of saplings. The pure, innocent enthusiasm of the young children slowly began to soften the hardened hearts of the deeply skeptical village adults. A few older elders cautiously joined the effort, bringing old farming tools to help break the tough soil for more planting. The incredibly lonely mission had successfully transformed into a small community project, bringing a rare sense of unity to the village. Just as beautiful hope was blossoming, a devastatingly harsh summer arrived, bringing extreme solar heat that threatened to destroy absolutely everything. The relentless, burning sun beat down mercilessly, quickly drying up the village well and leaving the young saplings gasping for moisture. Fragile green leaves began to turn brown and wither away, and Aryan watched in absolute horror as his precious garden died. Sudden panic spread among the local helpers, and many quickly abandoned the project, believing that the cruel environment had won again. Aryan stubbornly refused to accept defeat, knowing he had to urgently find a smart way to save his dying green friends. He quickly traveled to a distant town, spending long hours in a dusty library reading old books about ancient water conservation. He finally learned about the incredible power of mulching, a highly effective method using dry leaves to keep the soil moist. Quickly rushing back home, he immediately instructed the remaining children to gather every single dry leaf and fallen twig they could. They very carefully spread the thick protective layer around the base of every struggling plant, shielding the fragile roots from heat. Aryan also intelligently designed a clever system of small dirt trenches to capture and store the rare precious drops of dew. These highly innovative and desperate measures slowly began to work as the wilting saplings miraculously regained their vibrant green color again. The amazed villagers watched in absolute awe as the young boy successfully outsmarted the brutal summer heat through pure, relentless determination. This truly incredible victory completely shifted the overall village mindset, proving that nature could indeed be healed if they worked smartly. Many more families happily joined the massive planting campaign, dedicating their early mornings and late evenings to expanding the green zone. 5 long years quickly passed by, and the once barren wasteland was steadily transforming into a thriving, beautifully lush, vibrant landscape. Exactly 5 full years after planting that very first neem seed, the village was completely unrecognizable to any visiting outside travelers. A truly magnificent, dense forest now proudly surrounded the homes, providing cooling shade and dramatically lowering the extreme local summer temperatures. The deep, strong roots of the countless trees effectively captured rainwater, successfully replenishing the underground aquifers and restoring the dry wells. Wild birds of various beautiful colors joyfully returned to the area, filling the crisp morning air with their incredibly sweet melodies. The vastly improved climate allowed the grateful villagers to successfully grow healthy crops again, completely ending their long era of starvation. Happy children now played freely under the massive green canopies, breathing clean air and eating fresh fruits straight from the branches. Aryan, now a highly confident young man, stood proudly on the exact same dusty hill where he had once felt defeated. He quietly looked down at the breathtaking green paradise, feeling a profound sense of peace and overwhelming gratitude in his heart. The amazing news of this miraculous environmental transformation quickly spread across the region, reaching many other struggling communities in the country. Curious people from neighboring barren towns traveled great distances just to witness the incredible green miracle that Aryan had successfully created. They eagerly asked him for his secret, expecting to hear about some expensive technology or a massive government-funded environmental restoration program. Aryan simply smiled warmly, holding up a single tiny seed, and repeated the exact profound words his loving mother had shared. He clearly explained that absolutely every massive change in this world must always begin with one single, seemingly insignificant, small action. You simply do not need perfect conditions or endless resources to start making a positive difference in your own local community. The absolute true secret lies in unwavering persistence and having a strong belief in yourself when absolutely nobody else believes you. When the harsh, brutal summer tried to destroy his dreams, he chose to adapt and fiercely fight back instead of surrendering. He patiently taught the curious visitors how to properly mulch the soil, conserve precious water, and protect the fragile young saplings. Deeply inspired by his incredible journey, these visitors returned to their own dry villages, carrying full pockets of seeds and hope. A truly massive green revolution slowly began to sweep across the entire region, beautifully healing the damaged earth, one tree daily. Aryan's amazing story serves as a powerful, timeless reminder that human determination can successfully conquer even the most unforgiving natural environments. We very often feel completely paralyzed by the enormous scale of global problems, mistakenly thinking our tiny individual efforts are meaningless. But exactly like that first tiny neem seed, your smallest positive action possesses the truly incredible potential to create massive ripples. Please do not wait for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances to begin pursuing your most deeply cherished personal dreams. Start right now, today, with whatever limited resources you currently have, and simply trust the beautiful, natural process of steady growth. There will always be loud critics and harsh cynics who will eagerly try to tear down your beautiful, highly ambitious visions. Let their toxic negativity fuel your inner fire, pushing you to work even harder to prove their deeply pessimistic beliefs wrong. True, lasting success is rarely a sudden explosion of glory. It is usually the quiet, relentless daily effort behind the scenes. It is all about carrying heavy water buckets under a blazing sun when absolutely nobody else is watching or praising you. When you inevitably face highly unexpected setbacks, do not simply abandon your goals. Instead, actively seek out new knowledge and adapt. Aryan could have easily quit during the severe drought, but his willingness to learn completely saved his beautiful, growing green sanctuary. Your tough personal struggles are merely stepping stones, perfectly designed to teach you the exact vital lessons needed for ultimate victory. As you constantly strive to grow and succeed, always remember to generously share your valuable knowledge and uplift those struggling around you. The absolute most beautiful forests are not made of a single tree, but a diverse, supportive community of deeply interconnected roots. Working closely together, we can effectively heal our damaged planet, transform our local communities, and create a much brighter future tomorrow. Please never underestimate the incredible, world-changing power that currently rests quietly within your own two hands and your very own heart. Boldly plant your tiny seed of hope today. Nurture it with endless love, and watch as it beautifully transforms your world. Thank you so much for joining us on this deeply inspiring journey of profound transformation, incredible resilience, and beautiful personal growth. Always keep nurturing your mind and planting seeds of positivity. Thank you from Gentle Mind Shift. See you next time soon.